Welterweight Bellator tournament fight. Your first fighter ready to make his way to the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This is Ryan Tomas.
Ryan Tomas says that he is not impressed by the Olympic pedigree of his opponent Ben Askren and feels that he'll show Askren the difference between wrestling and MMA.
They say he's an Olympian and that's going to play a part in the fight. I don't see it that way. In those Olympic wrestling matches, they weren't throwing punches. Let's see how good he can wrestle with my fist in his mouth and my foot up his ass.
Ryan Tomas making his way towards the Bellator cage. Jimmy, he told us in our fighter meeting he's already thinking about Bellator World Welterweight Champion Lyman Good. He said if he could pick any opponent in the quarterfinal round of this welterweight tournament, he would have picked Ben Askren.
Well, what gets lost in the shuffle is that Ryan Tomas brings an outstanding wrestling pedigree in himself. Not on Askren's level, but he can give him trouble in a wrestling match.
And now his opponent ready to make his way to the cage. This, the fighter out of the blue corner, is Ben Askren.
Ben Askren achieved the pinnacle of freestyle wrestling when he represented the United States at the 2000 Summer Olympics. Askren is now determined to transfer that success to mixed martial arts.
I've wrestled for 18 years now and successful at every level of wrestling I've tried to be successful at. I came up a little short in the Olympics, but I'm not done yet. I'm coming back in 2012. Not only am I training to be a professional mixed martial artist, I'm training to be a world-class wrestler also, so I'm kind of doing double time right now. And on top of that, I coach at Arizona State, so lots of days I'm in the gym 6 to 8 hours a day. Just like I've climbed to the top of the wrestling world, I can climb to the top of the mixed martial arts world with the same work ethic and smarts that I put into wrestling. A couple articles came out around New Year's time about how I was one of the top-rated prospects around the country and looking forward to the next decade and one of the better prospects, and that made me really happy that other people realize they have the same belief that I have in myself. I'm 25 years old. I'm at the very beginning of my career right now, and I think I have a long future in the sport. As long as I want to be in it, I'm going to stay in it. When I feel like I reach my potential, I'll get out.
Askren has to prove that he can live up to his Olympic pedigree as he now transitions into mixed martial arts. To date, 3 times inside the cage and 3 thorough victories. Askren clearly has tremendous belief in himself based on what he's accomplished on the wrestling mat.
If I can make it big in Bellator and beyond, then that's going to be a big change in my life. It's probably going to change what my future turns into.
Ben Askren, a 2008 U.S. Olympian in freestyle wrestling, 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion at Missouri University. Jimmy, your inner circle.
Oh, this is a no-brainer. Look for the early takedown from Askren. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's looking to keep Tomas on his back. Tomas needs to make this an MMA fight. Use his movement, his Muay Thai, his boxing to keep this fight off the mat. Also, how well-rounded has Ben Askren become? He's been working with the Lions Den in Arizona, an American top team in Florida. Has he become a well-rounded mixed martial artist? We'll find out now.
With the official introductions of our first welterweight quarterfinal, here is Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships, along with Everlast, UB.net, and Madison Square Garden's historic Chicago Theater. Tonight at Bellator 14, present the first quarterfinal round fight in the Bellator tournament welterweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And now introducing first the fighter out of the red corner. He wears the white and black trunks at 6 foot even. He weighed in at 170 1/2 pounds. With a wrestling background and UFC experience, the Muay Thai fighter comes in with 10 wins against 3 defeats, and having never needed to go the distance to achieve victory, he has 3 by knockout and 7 wins by submission. From Danville, Illinois, introducing Ryan the Tank Engine Tomas. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the yellow and black trunks at 5'10". He weighed in at 170 1/2 pounds. As a world-class wrestler, the 2-time NCAA Division I champion from the University of Missouri, now as a mixed martial artist, stands undefeated with 3 victories, no defeats, having finished each of his opponent in the very first round, 1 by knockout, 2 by way of submission. training out of the Lion's Den in Scottsdale, Arizona, originally from Heartland, Wisconsin, now living out of Phoenix, Arizona, presenting the 2008 United States Olympian, Ben Askren. Your referee inside the cage for this contest is Dave Smith.
Fighter, center of the ring. Center of the ring. All right, guys, you both know the rules, and we went over in the back. I want a clean, fair fight. I want you to obey my commands at all time. Protect yourselves at all time, all right? Let's touch gloves, step all the way back. Let's do this.
This past Friday, Ben Askren married Amy. She's here tonight. Again, this is Amy Askren's honeymoon. Jimmy, I thought my wife Kelly was a patient woman.
To put up with somebody training on your honeymoon, fighting right after you got married, that's not an easy thing to do.
The bell in round number 1. Tomas in the white trunks, Askren in the yellow and black, showing that he's an MU Tiger. Tomas, the UFC veteran.
You can even see in his stance, Askren just not comfortable on the feet. Seems a little tentative. He wants to wrestle, and that's exactly what he shoots to do.
Shoot by Askren, looking for the takedown, and he gets it. Tomas did wrestle at Eastern Illinois University.
And I was trying to rubber guard here, pulling his shin behind the head of Ben Askren. That's a great way to keep your opponent close. They can't sit up, they can't do damage, and a lot of submissions from here.
Askren 3-0 early on in his pro MMA career, but he has fought no one near the level of Ryan.
Well, triangle. Fell right into a very tight triangle.
Tomas.
You see here, he's trying to cinch that in, holding onto the leg so Askren can't lift him up and slam him. We'll see how much he has in terms of submission defense, and he gets out.
Askren just powered his way out. That was power, not technique.
That really was good angling, but just pulling that head out. But that was tight. Let's see if that did not take a little bit out of him, Sean.
Tomas saying that he is a much better fighter, more complete, much better on his striking than he was when he entered his first UFC fight, August of 2008. Lost both of his appearances in UFC and really feels that he has something to prove.
But what you're seeing here is that Ben Askren now knows that he can't fall asleep even if he's on top. Oh, going for the Darce choke, trying to step over for that.
Said that's one of his patented finishes, the Darce choke. And Tomas pulls his way out.
Now we're going to see what he has from the bottom, trying to take the back here. Good sweep by Ben Askren. He knows a little bit in terms of jiu-jitsu sweeps. You can see that here. He's not necessarily comfortable off his back, but knew how to get back on top. Askren going over the top again.
Askren working on the single leg. Big takedown again. Tomas with the hammer fist. Tomas has been throwing punches from the bottom.
That's good. He's got to keep Askren distracted with something. You can't let him sit up and work his game from the top. Whether it's submissions or strikes, you got to have to keep him off balance. He's not that experienced.
Ryan Tomas in our fighter meeting saying his only fear against Askren was that Askren would get side control. Askren transitioning out of side control there to the north-south.
Going for a guillotine here. Oh, that is tight. He is cranking that hard. He's out.
Technical submission.
Wow, Ryan Tomas is still very much awake.
Tomas is furious. Technical submission called by referee Dr. Dave Smith.
I did not see a submission. I did not see him tapping. From here, we couldn't really tell if he was out. A referee apparently thought he was out. I do not think he was. Wow, very controversial ending to that fight. It looked tight, but he did not tap. Good show of sportsmanship. He does not blame Ben Askren, but that could have been a premature stoppage, Sean. When a guy goes out from any of those kind of chokes, a Darce choke, north-south choke, they're usually out for a little while. He was not.
My arm didn't go in. First round submission. I asked for submission.
Wow, his corner is furious.
You heard "no way" amongst other choice words from Ryan Tomas's corner.
Well, you can't blame Ben Askren. He did what he could to finish the choke. It's not his fault. The referee stopped it. Well, let's see if we can take another look at that again. Now, it was right here. It looks like a Darce choke from this position or kind of a modified guillotine, but there was no tap, and he is still very much awake. very much awake, Sean. That is a premature stoppage if I've ever seen one. You see here, a guillotine would call an arm-in guillotine, but his head is against the stomach. It's more like a neck crank, but he is clearly not out. Not out, did not tap. Now, what the referee is saying is that his eyes were closed right here. That he went out and closed his eyes, but a lot of guys close their eyes when they're trying to resist the choke. You know, but he is very upset, and I would be too. That was a premature stoppage. He was clearly not out.
Closing your eyes, Jimmy, you know, simply does not matter. Technical submission, very controversial decision. Ryan Tomas still pleading his case, but Ben Askren victorious in round number 1. The first moment of controversy in season number 2 of Bellator Fighting Championships. Victorious in round number 1 by way of technical submission, Ben Askren defeats Ryan Tomas. Here's Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the cage, the technical submission comes at 2 minutes, 40 seconds of round number 1. He'll now advance into the welterweight semifinal round, Ben Askren.
All right, I'm here first with the referee. Got to explain why you called that fight, the reason for the stoppage.
Well, I was standing right over him. He looked like he was sunk in, and I asked him for a sign. I said, "Are you okay? Can you continue? Give me a sign." And we clearly explained to the fighters before the show that if we ask him for a sign, to give us anything, thumbs up, a verbal, anything to let us know that they're all right. So we're here to protect the fighters. I was trying to make the call for him so that he wasn't going to be in damage.
Gotcha. Thank you very much, Ref. Now, I'm going to talk here with Ryan Tomas. I know you're angry, disappointed. Tell us how you're feeling, man. Home crowd does not agree with this stoppage.
You know what happened? I had it framed. He was blocking this side, but I could breathe fine out this side. It wasn't really that tight at all. The referee pulled him up. I was confused. I didn't know if I was cut or what the heck happened. And that was the worst call I've ever seen. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what to say, but hey, I've looked up to Ben Askren for a long time. We wrestled in college at the same time. I've always been a big fan of Ben Askren. It's not his fault. He came out and fought his ass off. He was a fighter.
Well, we definitely hope to see you again at Bellator. Hope you get another chance at it, buddy.
I'm going to do it next week, a rematch. Put me on the next show. Make it happen, Bjorn Rebney.
I'll talk to Bjorn and see what I can do. Here's the winner, Ben Askren. I know you're frustrated, but it's not your call, buddy.
Yeah, you know, I locked it up. I had it tight. I don't know what the ref saw. He didn't tap out. I know that. It's the ref's call, though.
Now, on the screen, you're going to see it again, that choke. Kind of a modified guillotine. You had it very tight, head against the belly. Is that a choke you like?
I learned that one from Mike Brown. Lock it up underneath the chin. Try to step over the back here. And it was tight. I mean, I don't know if he would have got it or not. He didn't tap. You know, kind of looks like he goes limp there. I'm not sure what the ref saw. I don't know.
There's one more look at it from the top.
Yeah, it's locked that up underneath the chin. I have it underneath his chin there, so just squeeze, man. Did what I had to do, but yeah, he didn't tap. I don't know.
Now, how do you feel about the rest of the division? You moved on to the semifinals, probably the toughest division in Bellator.
Yeah, it was a good win. Yeah, I'll rematch him if he wants. I don't care. Any day of the week. He can come to Phoenix. We can fight next Tuesday. Milwaukee, whatever. We'll fight any day of the week. I didn't have my best training camp because I didn't tell anyone, but dislocated my finger, came out of the skin about 4 weeks ago. I really haven't done anything. I've been calling myself the one-handed bandit because I've been grappling and boxing with one hand. I'll be better next fight.
Well, good to see you again. Hopefully see you in the semifinals soon and hopefully get another shot at Ryan Tomas. Congratulations.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes.
Ben Askren victorious. The reaction of his bride.